You are almost there. You can tell because the motion of the train is beginning to slow gently, and the rhythm of the sound of the wheels on the tracks is slowing. You glance out the window to see a rolling meadow filled with rainbows of wild flowers. At the far end of the meadow, you can see the ground gently slopes up, creating a hill that is topped with a grove of beautiful, deep green leaves. The afternoon sun is bright, clear, and feels warm on your skin as it filters through the window. You feel the train slow to a crawl and ever so gently stop. You take a moment to close your eyes and breathe deeply, following the breath in as you feel the air cross your nostrils and flow into your lungs, then following it out again as it rises through your chest and out past your nostrils. You feel how it is slightly warmer now from the time it's spent in your body. You breathe in deeply one more time, following your breath in past your nose and down into your lungs, then back out again. This time, you let go of your worries and stresses, letting your body relax as you exhale. You know that this journey's purpose is to rest and rejuvenate. You open your eyes, feeling more present, calm, and relaxed. You head out into the station to get your bearings and soak up your new environment. The station is small, quaint even. Looking around, you notice there are very few people, and they all seem peaceful and in no particular rush for anything. There is a train attendant behind a tall wooden counter on the far side of the station. He is thumbing through a magazine and appears quite relaxed and peaceful. He looks up at you as you enter and nods to acknowledge your presence. There are a couple of wooden benches in the center of the station, with an elderly couple sitting next to each other, holding hands. They each have a gentle smile on their lips and joy sparkling from their eyes. You feel some of that joy touch you, and you are reminded to allow more joy in your life. You cross the short span of the station and open the door to the outside. Stepping out into the gentle, warm afternoon sun, you stop to notice how the sun feels on your skin. It is warm, but not hot, gently penetrating your skin and warming your body. You take a nice, long, slow breath in. Feeling it pass your nostrils, you notice it is fragrant, filled with the scent of wildflowers and grass in the sun. You allow it to fill you with a sense of peace and joy. Then exhaling fully and letting go of more tension and buried stress, making more room for joy and peace. You take in another long, full breath, consciously following it and allowing it to fill you with peace and joy. Then exhaling fully, relaxed and at peace. You walk down the steps of the porch and glance around. It is quiet and there is no one around. There is a small road in front of the station with a sign that reads "Town" and points to your right down a gentle slope. Across the road, there is a small footpath and a sign that reads "Meadow." You know this is where you want to go. You cross the street to the path. To the right of the path, there is a small row of trees, and to the left, a flower garden. You step onto the dirt path and notice it feels comfortable under your feet. It is well worn and seems like it sees regular use. As you stroll down the path, you begin to take in your surroundings. You notice that the trees that line the path are of several different varieties. There are evergreens, maples, and other varieties that are unknown to you. There is one you notice down the path that is blooming. As you get closer, you can see that it is a dogwood tree full of green leaves and delicate white blossoms. You stop next to it for a moment to be present. You gently close your eyes and notice how the spring air feels on your skin, ever so slightly warmed by the afternoon sun. You take a long, slow, deep breath in, the fragrance of the flowers strong in the air. You can almost taste them as the air passes down into your body, filling your lungs. You hold the breath for just a moment to savor it in all of its detail. And then you exhale fully, letting go of everything but this moment now. You begin to hear birds singing gently. You open your eyes and see that the path winds around a bend just up ahead. You begin to move forward, the bird song growing subtly louder You feel as if they are calling to you to join them in their joyous celebration. You come around the bend in the path, and you can see the reason the birds are celebrating. Just ahead is the edge of the meadow you saw from the tree. It is visually stunning, filled with a variety of colors of wildflowers and grasses. You walk the short distance to the edge of the meadow and see that the path meanders into the grass and wildflowers and fades in the distance of the meadow. You step into the meadow and begin to follow the path. You can now hear the bees buzzing as well as the birds singing. The air is filled with the sweet scent of warm flowers, almost like warm honey. You begin to look at the brilliant flowers. There are so many. You see white and yellow daisies, purple blue larkspur, orange California poppies, red bells, and so many others that you can't identify. Then you let go of needing to know what they are and just breathe slowly in and then out, savoring their scent and sight. It feels magical and fills you with peace and comfort. You begin to just appreciate the tapestry of color, scent, and sound that the meadow creates, allowing it to gently carry you along down the path. A butterfly gently caresses your face as it flutters by to land on the beautiful yellow flower at the edge of the path. You stop to fully take in the moment. The flower is bright yellow, large, and round. The orange and black butterfly is striking against the flower. You watch as the butterfly collects the life-giving nectar from the flower. You reflect for a moment on the nature of this relationship and how the flower and butterfly need each other to live and prosper. As the butterfly departs for his next destination, you also continue with your journey down the path. You notice the path is beginning to gently rise with the hill of the meadow. It seems to now be carrying you in the direction of the trees at the top of the hill, where the meadow seems to fade into forest. You leisurely stroll ahead, noticing how each step feels against the ground, and how each new breath carries a new wildflower scent with it. You hear the bees busily gathering pollen, and the birds singing in the trees that are growing closer. You can also hear something else now, a slight buzzing in the distance. As you focus on the sound, you realize it is the sound of a hummingbird flitting from flower to flower. It grows louder and closer. Then you can see it zipping in front of you and hovering in the air, just in front of your face for a moment. You can see the brilliant green, gold and red of the feathers glistening in the sunlight, and feel the air move as he beats his wings to hold his position. Your eyes meet his small dark ones for just a moment, and you feel connected. You are reminded that you are connected to all of life, and it is beautiful and joyous. He zooms off as quickly as he arrived, and leaves you feeling connected, full of love, joy, and knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You begin moving forward on the path again, and become aware of the air cooling slightly, and the shift in the light that signals afternoon coming to a close. The tree line is fairly close now, and you can see that the path goes into the forest. You remember what your trusted friend told you. Just follow the meadow path. You'll know when you get there. Everything will be prepared for your arrival. You are now at the top of a small hill at the edge of the forest. It looks inviting and comfortable. The trees are large, and there is plenty of space between them. You can see the late afternoon sun filtering through the leaves to create a dappling effect of the light. You turn around and look down over the meadow you just walked through, letting your eyes soak up all the color and beauty. You breathe the fragrance in deeply, once more feeling it fill your lungs and body with life, holding it for just a moment, then releasing it, breathing out fully, feeling the peaceful calm wash over you. You turn around and step into the forest, continuing on the path. You notice the air feels slightly cooler on your skin with the dappled shade, and the light has taken on a golden green glow from the afternoon light filtering through the leaves. You are reminded of how magical and beautiful simple things are. You breathe in deeply. As it passes your nostrils, you notice it is cooler and lighter than the meadow air. It feels refreshing. You exhale fully, feeling the air is warmed from your body as it passes your nostrils, and letting go of everything but present in this moment. You take in another deep breath. This time you notice the subtle fragrance of forest. It fills you with a feeling of deep comfort. You exhale fully, allowing this feeling of comfort to wash through your whole being. The path is beginning to wind as it maneuvers around large trees and roots. The birds are beginning to quieten down as the light begins to fade into evening, and you notice the sound of water babbling somewhere in the distance. Continuing down the path, focusing on each step, you feel the ground under your feet becoming softer, almost cushioned. You look down and see that there is moss beginning to grow in patches on the path and along the sides. It grows thicker as you move forward, and the sound of water becomes clearer and more pronounced. It all has a gentle and calming quality to it, strolling on moss clouds while listening to the water gently flowing. As you follow the path around a grouping of large trees that are very close together, you see that it opens up into a small clearing by a stream. The path seems to end here, and you glance around, taking it all in. The ground is entirely covered in a carpet of deep green moss, rolling gently with the curves of the ground and rocks under it. The stream is small, and the water is clear as glass. A moss-covered rock cliff rises from the other side of the stream, as if protecting this space from unwanted guests. Glancing upstream, you notice there is a small cabin at the far end of the clearing, nestled up against the large trees. It is also covered in moss, and almost blends into the trees around it. The rest of the small clearing is lined with large trees, growing close together with their branches intertwining. The area feels protected by the nature around it. You breathe in deeply, noticing the air as it passes your nostrils. It is moist and clean, and fills your lungs as your chest expands to accommodate it. You exhale fully, becoming even more aware of the present moment, and noticing the air has become cool on your skin. You breathe in again, following the air past your nostrils. You notice a slight scent of smoke behind the moist scent of moss. You follow the breath as it travels back out past your nostrils. As you exhale, you fully relax into this beautiful space. You survey the cabin and again realize there is a small chimney sticking up from the moss-covered roof. It has a small, subtle trail of smoke coming from it. You are grateful to see it as the air has grown cold and the light is beginning to fade with evening. Crossing the small clearing to the cabin, you can see its features becoming clearer. The cabin seems small and simple. You see no windows on the front. You can now see the outline of the door under the moss. It is small and rounded at the top, with a little circular window at face height. As you arrive at the door, you consider knocking. Then remember you are expected, and follow your intuition to just open the door. You reach for the small round handle and feel that it is wooden when your hand wraps around it. Turning the handle and pushing the door gently, it opens into a warm, inviting room. Stepping into the room, you glance around. It is lit with a couple of lanterns hanging from the ceiling. To the left, in the far corner of the room, is a small fireplace with a big, comfy-looking chair in front of it. Looking around, you notice there is a small, round table in the center of the room, with a chair at it and an assortment of food, fruit, nuts, and cakes. In the far right corner of the room is a doorway with light coming through it. Immediately to the right of the door is a small table with a bouquet of wild flowers on it. A note rests up against the vase with your name on it. It reads, "Good evening and welcome. Please enjoy your visit and rest well." After your walk through the meadow and woods, you are ready to rest and cross the room to the doorway on the right. Looking through the doorway, you see the light is coming from a lantern on a small table that is next to a large bed made with fluffy blankets and pillows. It is quite inviting. On the other side of the bed is a small window that looks out onto the stream. You yawn as you cross the room to climb into the soft, warm bed. You turn off the lantern and notice the moonlight softly illuminating the street through the window. You snuggle down in the warm blankets and breathe in deeply, feeling completely at peace. Then, breathing out as you drift off to sleep, knowing you awake rested and refreshed.